What's going on, everybody? Today we got our match day 4 predictions here for the Premier League. Now, a couple of good games on the slate, and hopefully we can do pretty well in our predictions as well. Chelsea, Crystal Palace to open up the weekend. Chelsea, of course, having a not-so-great week last time out. 3-3 with West Brom. Went 3-0 down, had to grab 3 late. A very difficult day for the defense, really. And then, of course, Crystal Palace losing 2-1 to Everton as well. A tight game, but, you know, Everton are going to be one of those teams where you can't really get behind. You're going to struggle to break them down when they are defending a lead, and that's what happened here with Palace. So, a tough one here. I'm going to go with Chelsea to win this one 2-1. Crystal Palace, as I said, they're really good when they get ahead early. If you can find an early goal, you know, they're tough. Crystal Palace have a tough time coming back from that stuff if you can find an early goal. Chelsea, on the other hand, had a good midweek. They may feel confident going into it, grabbing some goals. They're starting to, play a little bit better going forward. I think they're going to nick it 2-1, but don't be surprised if Palace grab a result here. Next, we have Everton-Brighton. Everton, of course, grabbing that win over Crystal Palace last time out, and then Brighton losing after the final whistle to Manchester United. It finished 3-2. They deserved at least something once again. Brighton have 3 points right now and probably deserve at least 5. They deserved at least 1 from Chelsea. They deserved at least 1 from Manchester United. They were better than Manchester United, really, in the end. Brighton are going to have a good season once they start finishing off their opportunities. But, at the moment they haven't. They're going to play a tough Everton side. I like this to finish 1-1. Everton have started well, of course. Brighton have started well. These are two teams playing good football right now. I just think a stalemate is the best option in the end. Next, we have Manchester City and Leeds. This ought to be a fun one, very back and forth. Leeds are going to be in this game. Don't expect Manchester United to walk by this, or Manchester City to walk by this game. This is the type of team that Manchester City struggle with. Teams that are going to go at them, teams who are going to go quick down the pitch. We'll see what Ruben Diaz looks like in a Manchester City shirt, I imagine. But this is going to be no walk in the park for Manchester City. These are the types of teams Manchester City struggle with. I'm still going to pick them to win this game. They were beaten heavily last week at, playing against Leicester. 3 penalties in the end. We'll see. This is going to be quick, fast-paced, filled with goals. I'm going to go with Manchester City to win this one. Do we go 4-3? This is going to have a lot of goals in it. Leeds have already been a part of 2 4-3s. Maybe we'll go 3-2. We'll go with 3-2, but this is going to be back and forth. I think City are going to come out and really want to prove a point that they're not fading away. It's going to be tough. 3-2 in the end. Leeds just come up short. Next, we have Newcastle and Burnley. A tough one. Another tough one. Burnley last week, 1-0 loss to Southampton. They're struggling to start the season, of course. And then Newcastle grabbing that late equalizer on that handball, and Newcastle really didn't deserve anything from that game. That could have been anything for Tottenham. They just couldn't finish. But that could have been anything. Newcastle and Burnley, two teams not playing each very well. Both coming into a game where they're just kind of looking for points. This one has 0-0 written all over it for me, and I'm going to go with 0-0 there. Leicester City and West Ham. Leicester City, of course, coming off a drubbing of Manchester City. Incredible result for them, 5-2. And then West Ham, of course, coming off a drubbing of Wolves, which not too many people expected, 4-0 over there. So this is going to be tough for both teams, but Leicester do have the quality here. As I said, West Ham needed to grab a couple of points there, or a point or 3 against Wolves. They are going through a very tough stretch here, though they're going to come into this now against Leicester City with a little bit of a bounce in their step. I think it'll be very, very close, but I think Leicester are just going to squeak away with this. They seem to be on a mission. They're starting the season very, very well, playing good football, taking their opportunities. I like them to win this one. 2-1 in the end. West Ham, They looked a lot better last week than I thought they would at any point during this season, but they should just come up short here against Leicester. Next, we have Southampton, West Brom. West Brom, of course, shocking Chelsea going 3-0 up. They couldn't really hold on to it in the end. It finished 3-3. And then Southampton getting their first win of the season against Burnley as he tries to fiddle with the defense a little bit here. So this one, I'm going to lean Southampton. I think Southampton win this one 2-1. I think West Brom can grab one on the break, but I think Southampton, they're the better team here. West Brom will probably be on a high from that Chelsea thing, maybe a little bit tired from all the defending they had to do in the second half. Southampton to sneak away here 2-1 in the end. Next we have Wolves and Fulham. This one here is a good one for Wolves. Fulham, of course, they're just not into this league, are they? 3-0 last week to Villa, 3-0 midweek to Brentford. It's tough. It's tough for Fulham. It'll be tough for Fulham. Wolves, on the other hand, coming off an incredibly poor result, 4-0 to West Ham, and they are going to want to be up for this game. This is a game they need points from if they want to hit their ambitions this season. I think they're going to be ready, and I just think there's too much quality here for Fulham. I like this one to finish 3-0. I struggle so much seeing where Fulham are going to, one, get goals, two, defend. It's a mess at Fulham, and every week I feel like I'm going to pick them to lose games. It's a struggle here. Wolves come away with it 3-0. Next we have Arsenal and Sheffield United. Sheffield United losing really late last time, an 88th minute winner from Leeds. Sheffield United are still coming into it. They're trying to find goals. They bought Rhian Brewster today. They're still good defensively. The shape coming along a little bit better, but they're still kind of working their way into the season. Then Arsenal last week beaten by Liverpool 3-1. A good shape, but a couple chances here and there, but Liverpool really controlled that one. But this is where Arsenal will struggle. These are the types of teams Arsenal are going to struggle against. Teams who are going to sit back, soak up pressure, hit them on the break. Arsenal play best when they are sitting back and breaking themselves. At the moment, there are not a ton of teams that's going to happen against. Sheffield United, you expect, will let Arsenal have the ball, let Arsenal move a ball around, kind of nullify their, a counter-attacking threat. So these are the types of games they're going to struggle with. They struggled against West Ham. I expect them to struggle a little bit here. I am going to pick them to win, but barely. I like this one to finish 1-0 to Arsenal, but this could go either way. It could go a Sheffield United win, it could go a draw, it could go an Arsenal win. This is solely on to the day. These styles will match up and create a stalemate type of game. I'm just going to pick Arsenal to nick it. Sheffield United haven't started particularly well. I think it's going to take one of those games where they, grab a win to kind of move forward and start picking up points like they did last year. Next we have Manchester United and Tottenham. This one to me is two big teams who are going to underachieve. Manchester United haven't started well. Of course, 3-1 loss quickly to Palace, and then beating Brighton in a game they didn't deserve anything from, and then on a penalty with the last kick of the game essentially. And then Tottenham, of course, the 1-1 couldn't quite find the back of the net enough times to beat Newcastle, though they had plenty of chances. They haven't started particularly well either. These two teams are going to underachieve, as I said, and two teams that underachieve when they meet each other, that normally screams draw to me. I like 1-1 here. It'll be tight. It'll be cagey. Both teams will not want to lose this game. This is one of those games where losing is very detrimental to what you want to do as the year goes on. This will be very, very tough, very cagey, very tight. 1-1 in the end for Manchester United and Tottenham. And then Liverpool, Aston Villa. Aston Villa, who've started off pretty well, 6 points already. From their 2 games. I believe they've only played the 2 games. Yes, so 6 points from their 2 games. Of course, Liverpool as well, 9 points from an impressive start in terms of opponents. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Leeds, those are pretty impressive opponents to start, to be 9 points already. Aston Villa, as I've said, they've played pretty well so far, but haven't looked incredible. They beat a Fulham side rather easily. Fulham being by far and away the worst team in the league, and then of course that 1-0 over Sheffield United, in which Sheffield played the game with 10 men for 80 minutes or so. So when you watch them, I haven't been incredibly impressed necessarily with Aston Villa just yet. They're picking up points, which is obviously important. And then of course they bring in new players, They're bringing in new players all the time. They have to bed in and gel. It'll take a little bit here. I like Liverpool to come away with this one 3-0 in the end. They should just be too much. It was a tough couple of fights last year, of course. 2 late goals. But Liverpool have started off this season professionally. They seem to move up a gear whenever they feel like it. And I think they're going to go into the international break with a perfect record here with a 3-0 win over Aston Villa, guys. So let me know how you guys feel in the comments down below. And we shall see how the new weekend goes, guys. 1 week before an international break, and hopefully we do well in our predictions. But, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.